Hello, I am Dr. Vivek Mahajan. I am an interventional cardiologist at Fortis Hospital, Kalyan and Mulund. Plus, I also have a clinic at Dombivli, which is a cardiac diagnostic center. I shall be talking in this video about high blood pressure, or which is called in scientific terms as hypertension. So what is hypertension? Let's try to understand that in simple language. When the heart pumps blood into the blood vessels to distribute the blood to the entire body, the heart pumps it with a certain force. When it pumps into the arteries tend to distend, and this gives a rise in the pressure in the arteries, and when the heart relaxes, the pressure falls. This gives us the systolic blood pressure when the heart is pumping, and the diastolic blood pressure when the heart is relaxing. A certain amount of blood pressure is necessary to distribute the blood into the organs. But when this blood pressure exceeds a certain pressure, that is 130 and 80 millimeters of systolic and diastolic blood pressure, 130 and 80 millimeters mercury of systolic and diastolic blood pressure, then it is called as hypertension or high blood pressure. It happens because with the age the arteries lose their elasticity, they become more stiff. Plus there are other factors like hormones or other chemicals released from the brain as well as from the kidneys. Poor handling of the sodium or salt by the kidney also contributes to high blood pressure. So these all factors like arterial stiffness, hormones and the kidney handling of sodium or salt leads to increase in the blood pressure above 130 on 80 millimeters of mercury. Why is it important to know this high blood pressure? It is because if the blood pressure continues to be high in the arteries for a long duration of time, then the arteries get damaged, and when the arteries get damaged, then the blood supply to the vital organs like brain, kidney, heart and the limbs all suffer, and this may result in strokes, heart attacks, kidney failure, peripheral gangrenes, etc., which can be all life threatening. So we need to prevent the development of the blood pressure, and if it has already developed, then we should treat it. So what is the most important thing that we can do to prevent this damage occurring out of the high blood pressure or hypertension? The most important thing is that we should be aware whether we are already suffering from this high blood pressure or not. This is important because there is a misconception that blood pressure gives symptoms like headache, giddiness, etc. You will be surprised to know that there are absolutely very minimal or no symptoms of high blood pressure. The symptoms that we commonly think are because of high blood pressure like headache, giddiness, etc. are usually towards the very later stage of blood pressure when the damages to the organs have already started occurring. We need to catch this blood pressure and treat it before this damage to the organs has already occurred. And how do we do it? There are absolutely no symptoms or very few symptoms. So for that we have to ourselves check the blood pressure by going to a doctor or by home monitoring the blood pressure at our home itself. And who should do it? Every person who is about 21 years of age should have blood pressure checked at least once in his lifetime, and if the blood pressure is found to be high, he should visit the doctor for treatment, or he should by himself go to the doctor and check the blood pressure, and if the blood pressure is found high, treatment should be initiated. So some people make very common mistakes in this practice. They go to the doctor tells them that this blood pressure is high, and they start the treatment from the doctor. The blood pressure. So some people after going to the doctor and getting the treatment prescribed make very common mistakes. The most common mistake is that the doctor starts some medications and the patient after 1 month or 2 months finds that the blood pressure has come down to normal levels below 130 and 80 millimeters systolic and diastolic, and he feels that the blood pressure is cured and he stops the medication. Blood pressure is not a curable disease, it is a controllable disease. It is going to be present in your body for your lifetime, and it needs to be controlled for the lifetime with medications. You cannot stop the medications without medical advice. Another common mistake that the patients make is they visit the doctor and start the medications, the blood pressure gets controlled, and after that they forget about it, they keep on continuing the medications for a lifetime, and one fine day they'll end up with complications of blood pressure. Why does this occur? Because the dose that you are starting today may not be enough for your blood pressure control. After a few months or few years, the disease may progress and you may need to increase the dose of the medication. Therefore, regular follow-up with the doctor to keep a track of your blood pressure, as well as checking the blood pressure at your home itself by yourself, is very important to ascertain whether the blood pressure is controlled or not. And if the blood pressure is not controlled, you need to repeatedly follow up with the doctor and adjust the dose of the medications so that the blood pressure always remains below 130 by 80 millimeters of mercury. So this is about getting treated and getting diagnosed with for blood pressure. Now, what are the lifestyle modifications or lifestyle precautions that you need to do in your day-to-day life so that you never develop the blood pressure, or if you have already developed the blood pressure, then the blood pressure control becomes easier. So the most important precaution is dietary precaution. What dietary precautions would you take for a blood pressure patient to treat the patient as well as to prevent the blood pressure from developing? It is very important that a high blood pressure patient as well as other patients cut down on their salt intake. It is said that we need to have only 2.4 grams of sodium every day. That is equivalent to around 6 grams of common salt. But we do not measure common salt every time we prepare a food preparation. We prepare the food to taste. So the very basic thing that you can do to cut down the salt is to make the food slightly less tastier by putting less amount of salt. So if you put a certain amount of salt to taste, cut down that by 10 to 20% so that the food remains slightly less salty or less tasty. This can be easily done. Now there are other articles in our food which contains a lot of salt. These are papads and pickles. They are made rich in salt so that they are preserved over a long period of time, as salt is a common preservative. So patient who is having high blood pressure should cut down on these pickles and papads. Now many people do follow these precautions very rigorously in their day-to-day life, but still end up consuming a lot of salt. How is that possible? Because they consume a lot of outside food. The home food you can control your salt intake, but the outside food you cannot control your salt intake. For example, hotel foods, restaurant foods, they are very rich in sodium because they are intended to be made tasty so that the customers would be pleased with the food, but they are not good for your health. So hotel foods and restaurant foods which are rich in salt or high in salt content should be avoided by a high blood pressure patient. Apart from this, packed food or canned foods are also rich in salt because salt is used as a preservative in these, and packed foods and canned foods should be strictly avoided by a high blood pressure patient. What further precautions should be taken in the dietary area by the high blood pressure patient? They should avoid red meats and high fat foods like high fat milk products. Only low fat dairy products should be consumed by the high blood pressure patient. Apart from this, oily foods should be avoided and oil use should be minimum. Any oil is bad for the heart and as well as for the body, but the oils which are allowed by the American College of Cardiology guidelines are the non-tropical vegetable oils. Which are these? These are the safflower oil, the sunflower oil, olive oil, rice bran oil and canola oil. These oils can be used in limited quantities by the high blood pressure patient as well as by the general population for a healthy lifestyle. What should we eat? We have given you a lot of no's, do nots, but what should we eat? So a patient with high blood pressure should eat a lot of food which is rich in potassium. Which are these foods? Green leafy vegetables, salads, sprouts and fruits. These are all rich in potassium and these are all rich in fibers. So these are the foods which give you a very healthy lifestyle, and this should be included both the times in your meals, morning and evening, in adequate quantities so that you get good amount of potassium and fiber, and your blood pressure remains controlled and your overall health also remains controlled. Apart from the food precautions, what other things can a high blood pressure patient do to keep his blood pressure normal? The most important thing apart from diet is exercise. You should exercise at least 30 to 45 minutes on most days of the week, at least 5 to 6 days a week, and this exercise should include brisk walking. It is not necessary that you do gym every day, you can do it, but the minimum amount of exercise that is required for a healthy heart and for a good blood pressure is 45 minutes of brisk walkings at 5 kilometers per. Apart from diet and exercise that we should follow for avoiding development of blood pressure, high blood pressure and hypertension, is avoiding alcohol. Smoking is another risk factor which will contribute to the development of hypertension, and smoking also contributes to heart diseases, cancers, kidney failures, etc. There is medical help available for quitting smoking, because one cigarette that you smoke today, the effect on the blood pressure and heart disease will last for up to 1 year, and the effect on the development of cancer will last as long as 20 years. So it is a good day today to quit smoking. Other factors which we can control to avoid the development of blood pressure is weight control, weight loss. The only way of weight loss is to cut down your calories and to spend your calories more. So cutting down the high calorie foods and exercising more are the only means by which you can lose weight. So if you are overweight or obese, you have to cut down your calories and to exercise more. Another contributing factor to the development of blood pressure is snoring or sleep apnea. So many people snore at night, and this is a very common disorder in the Indian population as well. So if you are snoring and if you feel sleepy during the daytime, then it could be a disease called as sleep apnea, and this contributes to the development of blood pressure, it contributes to brain damage, it contributes to heart damage, and there is medical help available for this disease called sleep apnea, and you should immediately consult a chest physician if you are suffering from this sleep apnea. And last but not the least, stress. Stress is a very, very important contributor to the development of high blood pressure. Try to relax every day, try to find time for yourself for leisurely activities, pleasurable activities. It could be anything, it could be watching movies, hearing a song, or talking to your family members, or chatting with your friends. Get 15 to 30 minutes for yourself every day, free of all the stress in your life. Get adequate amount of sleep. 7 to 8 hours of sleep is very important. People tend to adjust this sleep time against watching TV and mobiles, etc. Try to avoid that. Make the sleep time very important. It is a premium time of your life. It will contribute to your long life if you sleep 7 to 8 hours. People who sleep less than 6 hours or more than 9 hours have a high risk of death as compared to those who sleep for 7 to 8 hours. So that sleep is very important. It will relieve the stress in your mind. So we have seen in brief about what is high blood pressure, how it develops, how we should diagnose it, how we should get it treated, what precautions we should take while visiting the doctor and following his advice, and what lifestyle modifications we should do. So I hope this information will help you all who are listening to this video to tackle the risk of high blood pressure better. Get the blood pressure of your loved ones, near ones, family members, friends checked up. Try to induce healthy lifestyle habits in your family members as well as the younger ones in your family, so that they do not develop high blood pressure in the future, or if they have already developed high blood pressure, it will help to control the blood pressure. Together, let's contribute to a healthy society and a healthy India. Thank you very much.